we are back for another episode of Sherlock Holmes Reawakened. And last episode was quite eventful. We now know a little bit more about what is happening, even if we don't know sort of all the details. We can at least give an explanation to some of what has been happening, which is that the so-called Black Edelweiss Institute in Switzerland, where we have Professor Gygax working as a director, has been producing a sedative, and this sedative, which is possibly the same drug as they have been testing in the institute on a wide range of patients, is a drug that apparently makes the people who take it somewhat obedient. So could appear that they're using it as a sort of mind control drug. At least that's what is indicated in some of the documents we found in the institute. And it seems likely that if they are working on a drug and testing a drug, it's the same drug. So this sedative is possibly what's being used or created to control people. So that's at least what it looks like. And this Professor Gygax, she appears to have an arrangement with a person that is referred to as R, which is possibly located in or based in the United States. Possibly a rich or influential person. And it seems like this R person has been supplying Professor Gygax with test subjects, at least from the US and the UK. And these test subjects have been possibly selected to sort of represent a wide range of people, so that the drug can be properly tested on different types of people. And supplying these people appears to involve kidnapping and then shipping them in crates to Switzerland. So when Sherlock Holmes first got involved, it was to examine kidnapping, or to find out where kidnapped, or not necessarily kidnapped, but where a servant that had gone missing could be found. And it turned out that he was kidnapped and apparently shipped to Switzerland, to this institute. So this Professor Gygax is we learned some things about her, and she evidently forcibly replaced the former director of the institute, and replaced many of the people that were previously working at the institute with new people that she could trust, evidently. And part of the reason for her replacing the former director was that he apparently was not happy with her methods that she used to sort of well, not necessarily heal, but to treat patients. So she needed to get rid of him, and he ended up getting what's it called, lobotomized, and he does not currently remember who he is and why he's at the institute. So he's currently there as a patient under a different name. And generally it seems like this Professor Gygax is not adverse to using sort of extreme methods to attain her goals. And at least publicly, her sort of approach to psychiatry, according to herself, is that fixing a broken mind is not possible, so instead you have to force them to forget. And this sort of displays the drug, which, if it can be used to make people forget, or at least make them sort of drugged down, then that could be one explanation for what she's doing. But it seems like there's more going on here, even if we don't have any details of that yet. So her goals are also unclear at the moment. So one peculiar detail is that even though there is sort of no Cthulhu Mythos related connection to what we have seen at the Edelweiss Institute so far, we have found some notes in the diary of Professor Gygax that indicates that possibly this person R in the US has purchased a small number of gems from Gygax, and they were apparently of much higher value than the price initially expected. So it seems like there could be something special about these gems. Since this is a sort of supernatural Lovecraft related story, it's easy to theorize that there could be some connection to this here. For example, if she actually does sort of sacrifice some of these kidnapped victims to Cthulhu or something similar, perhaps these gems are physical representation of their souls or something like that. So she has some sort of process that allows her to extract part of the sacrificial victims as gems that are very valuable. So the reason why I'm speculating this is that there were only 11 of these gems mentioned in the correspondence, and that seems like a number which could match a number of persons that have been kidnapped or sacrificed. Well, of course this could be entirely wrong. I mean, we will have to see, but to find out more, I guess we'll have to continue the game. We need to play on, and in the last episode we ended the session near the entrance to the secret cellar of the Institute. So we had managed to gain access to this secret cellar area where all the kidnapped victims are apparently taken and undergo some sort of horrible ceremony or treatment. So it's unclear if any of them actually come out from there. It seems like possibly not, so it could be that it's their final destination. And that, I think, covers the most interesting parts of what we found out last episode, so let's continue and see where the game leads us. Okay. So here we are inside the cellar. So we came from up here. So let's see. Ah, we can enter here. And so this is where we came from, and we have a map here. Okay. This seems very civilized. Classroom, perhaps? Can we find something interesting in this room? Ah, well, this looks somewhat suspicious now, doesn't it? It appears that there are sort of manacles on the floor. I guess they didn't want any of the pupils to go away and not listen to the lecture.
The tooth of an adult male, likely lost in a beating, only a couple of days old. The inside of the cuff is worn. It's been used often.
Which would seem to indicate that there have been lots of people here over a long time. Is there something else we can find, perhaps? Ah, what's this?
A wax cylinder. There is something recorded on it.
Interesting. I wonder what that might be.
The writing is mostly gone. Phonetic symbols, perhaps.
Doesn't this look a little bit sort of Cthulhu-ish? Perhaps some sort of
The writing is mostly gone. Phonetic symbols, perhaps.
Perhaps some sort of chanting or perhaps song. This girl we talked to upstairs, she indicated that there was some singing going on. So perhaps what they are supposed to learn here is some kind of ritual chant. Even though it appears that not everybody have been equally enthusiastic about the idea of learning how to perform these songs. Yeah. Yes! Now this seems familiar. So I guess that explains it. There have been learning Raelian or whatever. They can perform some kind of ritual, I guess. So there are at least 2 people here. 2 more doors. So, I guess that provides us with an answer to one question, and that is that there's undoubtedly some kind of mythos-related connection to what is going on at the Institute. So, one wonders what Professor Gygax has really been working on.
Oh, the smell.
Okay, perhaps this is where bodies are disposed of. So this is a sort of final destination for those that are kidnapped, I guess. So here we have a crate. One more of these crates that have been used. This looks somewhat bloody.
Judging by the remnants of blood and flesh, these instruments were used for dismemberment.
Nice.
Dear God, is that body parts?
Yeah.
Utterly inhuman.
Good. Apparently, some remains that they need to clean up after whatever ceremony they have performed is over, and that's evidently here. Nothing I missed. So, not a very pleasant gang that's using this institute as a base. It looks very civilized, but it's far from it now, isn't it? Notebook of Professor Gygax. The new method at last started to show progress. The success rate is 4 out of 10, and the failures are not responding to any external stimuli. Nevertheless, the phonetic system can be declared an undeniable success, regardless of their native language or place of origin. Individuals learn to speak the chant without flaw. They learn it quickly and fluently despite lacking all mental autonomy. Regrettably, one of the chosen continues to resist. Isolation and deprivation result in a strengthening of the disobedience. Negotiation only ignited anger, and even after the direct removal of the frontal and the temporal lobes, it seems all that was left was an innate desire to resist. This chosen one cannot be allowed to pollute the minds of the others. The conclusion is inescapable. They cannot continue to live. I will see to it that they are sent to the well. Very interesting.
Looks as if it's been recently used.
Rillier Wagnana Galpatagan. Ringlui Maglana Parkatulu. Rillier Wagana Galpatagan. Ringlui Maglana Parkatulu. Rillier Waglana Galpatagan. Ringlui Maglana Parkatulu. Rillier Wagana Galpatagan.
So that was the recording, I guess, and yes, it seems to be some sort of ceremony-related chant. A handwritten letter. Professor, trust my guide, the light of the abyss, for he shall enlighten our chosen ones. Make sure he is present and that our chosen utter nothing but the sacred words. And lo, the trance will begin, and we will be an inch closer to the universe beyond. Your work is essential, as many of our flock do not speak our language, and time is of the essence. It would be best to work in groups, performing at least one seance per day for a week. Of course, the most skeptical members will have to be tamed by your hands. In the meantime, my work continues on a physical method to maintain the trance state through the emitted light waves of Kaleid lenses. Finally, my men in New Orleans will contact you regarding the new shipment of Chosen. Make room for them as you have done before. Okay, so this is, so it seems like this R person is, who's sort of responsible for the supernatural influence on Professor Gygax. A telegram from New Orleans. Bank has the gems. My master has ordered me to send the first shipment of chosen ones. They will arrive within 2 weeks. Do not fail us. So this is somebody else, isn't it? This other person was So let's have a look at our evidence. Signed A. Signed R. And okay. So 1882. 1880. So she has been doing this for some time now. 79. So she replaced the director in 79, and in 80 she was already in business with R, and let's see. Did we have some other dates here? 1882. So she has been going on with whatever she's doing for some time, it seems. Here we have a door. And okay, the birds. So perhaps there's something more to these birds that we saw upstairs. And here I guess we have the lobotomization machine.
Dynamo machine. Provides electrical stimulation for the person in the chair. Full grain leather straps. Impossible to escape.
Okay, very pleasant. Did we have something more here, perhaps?
A very professional brain dissection.
Okay, so
A very professional brain dissection.
perhaps this is the birds I use as practice, perhaps?
A very professional brain dissection.
I'm not sure if bird brain is similar enough to a human brain for that to be of any great value, but okay, what do I know? So, and that covers everything in this room, perhaps? So, there we have a basement. Before we go down there, let's see if there's something else we can do upstairs. So we have this one. Let's pin it and take a look at this door over here. See if this is somewhere we can enter. Yeah, okay, it's not a door. What is this, an elevator perhaps? Looks like an elevator. Okay, so this is we have been everywhere but the last room. And I guess then we'll brave this final basement area and see what we can find. This would presumably be wherever they are doing the ceremonies. So let's see what we can find here.
out of my head!
Your iron fist is devoid of soul. Find reverence for the one that trembled.
Lord,
Lift your surrender your soul and become a servant of madness.
please! No more! Stop it! Watson! John! Somebody!
Wretched mortal, do not fear what is to come. Let him rupture our world anew. Awaken, and let the
World behold!
The light of the abyss is the light from the abyss. Get out of my head.
Well, that was interesting. I guess that person we just saw is one of these chosen ones that were referred to in the documents we looked at just now. And, well, it looked like he was some sort of avatar or human possessed by some of these eldritch powers. So, interesting. And he disappeared. Do we have anything else that's changed? Can't change clothes. We have nothing here. Telegram. Okay, I guess we'll just go back again. And I still haven't used the key. Nothing here. Well, Sherlock Holmes has certainly experienced a little bit of the supernatural this time. I wonder if he...
A very professional brain dissection.
I wonder if he's still skeptical of...
A very professional brain dissection.
skeptical of all things supernatural, or if he perhaps suspects that there might be sort of other powers than those that are worldly at play here. Okay, now we have the elevator moving. Well, this will be interesting.
A hydraulic elevator? How ingenious.
So, I guess we can go upstairs, and where will we arrive then? I don't think there's anywhere else we haven't been in this area, so I guess we can take the elevator and see where we end up. Let's see, can we go back here?
It's sealed tight. I can't exit the same way.
Okay. Do a quick search here also before.
The writing is mostly gone. Phonetic symbols, perhaps.
Quick look here before we walk on to the next area. Nothing else. Okay, I guess that's everything. So now we have been downstairs. Now I guess we go up again. We will. Where did that come from? I guess we have to confront Gygax at some point, but do we have enough, or is there something else we need to see first? I guess we would have to be able to do something drastic to sort of wrest power from her in the place we are now. She could easily just have us sedated and lobotomized if she wanted to. So, well, let's go up and see what happens.
Watson?
Holmes,
What are you still doing here?
still? I was trying to find more information. Did you think I was just going to sit in my room twiddling my thumbs?
I only asked you to find the key. I had everything else under control.
Says the man who looks like he saw a ghost.
I am fine, Watson.
You're hardly fine. You reek of congealed blood and chemicals. What did you see down there?
Never mind me. Where's Gygax?
I'm afraid she's over there. I found her like that when I entered, on my word.
What? She was our biggest lead.
Yet another wrinkle in our investigation. What do we do now, Holmes?
Hush. Let me think.
Well, that was certainly an interesting twist, so I guess we didn't get to talk to her after all. So let's see now. We are now in her study. Directorin's office. And here we have the doll. Okay, so possibly the girl stabbed her. Interesting. She was going to do some kind of operation on her, and I guess she didn't want to be operated on. Well, let's look around and see what we can find. Can I go outside?
I had nothing to do with this, Holmes. I swear it.
No, we are stuck in this room. So let's examine it properly, shall we? Okay, so what is Heidi being up to now then?
Heidi, how did it end up here?
Yes, nothing else. No. Okay.
The pencil is buried deep all the way to the brain. Instant death.
Could that be Wolf also, or the former director, I guess?
No traces of blood on her clothes. Must have got on her white overcoat. The patients here wear the same robes.
We'd better inform the local police about this.
You're right, Watson. But first, we need to determine where our case goes next.
Okay, and then we look here, I guess. Where does the evidence lead next? Well, it seems obvious that we need to go to the United States and find these R and A persons. So, a note from Professor Becker. What was this then? We have a letter from New Orleans Bank. That seems like it could be relevant. Handwritten letter. Also seems like it could be relevant. And telegram from New Orleans. So seems like it could be relevant. Several pieces of evidence now point to New Orleans. It appears that the kidnappers have enlisted the services of the banking house of E.W. Gray to sell gems. Yes, it does, doesn't it? We still haven't found out what kind of gems those are, so we have some kind of thingy up here. I guess we'll have to talk to somebody. Is there nothing else of interest? No, it doesn't look like it. We talked to Mr. Watson, I presume.
We've got what we needed, Watson. This conspiracy reaches further than we thought. I don't suppose you've ever been to New Orleans?
You are joking.
I seldom do. Let's go. There's no time to waste. There's nothing in this world that cannot be explained with logic and reason. Nothing in this world.
Holmes?
Hmm?
You seem troubled.
I'm not troubled, Watson. I am preoccupied.
That place was awful. Inhumane. It would be natural to experience some feelings of shock or fear.
Men reduced to gibbering imbeciles, numb beyond recognition, powerless to help themselves. When a doctor does go wrong, they are the first of criminals. They have the nerve and they have the knowledge.
That woman did not deserve the title. Such casual cruelty for such selfish aims.
I knew another man like that once. He treated my mother, perhaps even killed her, depending on who you ask.
My sincere condolences.
In the end, she was just a shadow of herself. The outline of the person I recognized, but lacking all else. She was pushed until she cracked. Should you see me cracking, John, I must ask you to intervene.
Nothing compels us to pursue this matter further, Sherlock. We can return to London, report what we have discovered, let more capable hands take over.
Alas, there are no such hands. Were we to abandon our quest now, I fear no other would succeed in our stead.
We know nothing of what awaits, what dangers lurk in the darkness.
Nonsense. We draw nearer to New Orleans with every passing minute, and thus closer to the answers we seek. Those answers, for all their perversity and improbability, will, nevertheless, be the work of men. And that is a work I have studied well.
So be it.
I know you to be a diligent author, but if I may make one request. Kindly omit my mother and her suffering from your tale.
Of course.
Thank you, John.
Ah, Holmes. After our trip to nippy Switzerland, I can certainly use some of this New World heat.
Do not get carried away, Watson. What we could certainly use are answers to my questions.
I know, but you look exhausted. Why didn't we find the hotel first?
We shall rest when our investigation is over, and not a moment sooner. I shall ask you to handle our bags while I search for the bank.
As you wish. Oi! Stop it, you! Our luggage! Good Lord, what have you done? That's my stuff.
I'm sorry, mister. It was an accident.
Okay, and now we are in New Orleans. Quite different surroundings compared to Switzerland and the Asylum there. Very interesting dialogue just now. We saw Sherlock Holmes clearly grappling with what he has seen and how he should approach it. And yes, sort of nice nice conclusion there that what we essentially have the acts of men, even though there might be sort of more unnatural powers at work. So he feels that he has something to contribute, and also interesting to see that just as one might expect from a Lovecraft-related story or an adventure set in the world of Lovecraft, that the protagonist is gradually going more and more mad. He looks sort of mentally strained, as one would expect under the circumstances. So, from having sort of a very certain view that there is nothing that cannot be explained rationally, and then sort of being forced to confront that idea in a very extreme manner. So, well, we are now in New Orleans, and I think this is a good place to end it, this episode. And so we can start on this part of the game the next time. So we made it all the way to chapter 4. And well, that's more or less it. So instead of ending with Auf Wiedersehen, we'll end it with a simple goodbye. So goodbye.